Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's Hydroneer video. Today I'm going to be talking about 100% optimization, and that's not just your conveyor belt to make the most money, I'm talking about pressure tanks as well. So the reason why this video is existing is, number one, is because I haven't ever covered this in any video, ever. And the other reason is I've been called up on this, like, oh, why aren't you doing your experiments with 100% pressure, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, in all fairness, it's almost like I planned it, right? Almost. So, you know, like, yeah, we'll see. Anyways, so today what we're going to do is we're going to actually run through this set. The reason why I'm going to be running through this setup is I've used this in the previous video. Now I'm going to show you how to optimize that build to make more money. Okay, so first off, we're over here at South Hope, because South Hope is my home away from home on Hydroneer. And as you can see, my big long pipe that no one really cares about up until this point here. The valve, this is where it all starts. This is optimization 101 for every single person out there, not just me. Because I'm making this video to show you how to do things. Also, it helps me sort of like get to grips when it comes to piping and helping other people as well. So first off, valve, and put a splitter in. And when I say a splitter, this is literally just like a bog standard pipe. The reason why I call it a splitter is because it splits between these two. Just my terminology, don't worry about it, it's fine. Just a pipe. And then we've got our 5 filters. Now the reason why you're going to want 5 filters is because, yep, you got it right. Basically, 5 filters protects your machines from everything. And this is dirty water flowing through here. These -2 the pressure, and it's, you know, it helps to protect the ram drill, the harvester, your Goliath, and so on and so forth. Anything that basically can make you money will get hurt by water pressure. Well, the water, if it's not 100% clean. So these are the only 5 things that you'll ever have to repair on a build, and it doesn't matter how many times you build off this one line, that will be the only thing that breaks. Okay? Sorted. Number 2. This is optimization 101 when it comes to pressure. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to put 4 chambers in the back of your ram drill, or 4 chambers in the back of your Goliath, as you can see. For giggles, we've basically put 4 chambers in the back of our conveyor belt. Now, when it comes to your conveyor belt, it doesn't really matter if you're running 100% or not. It's depending on if you really want to run 100% or not. So, just for this experiment, and just because, well, if I didn't do it, somebody would go, well, you didn't put 4 chambers in the back of your conveyor belts. Now I'm putting 4 chambers in the back of my conveyor belts. Thank you very much. Now, the reason why we have a box here is, well, 1, for aesthetic reasons. So we've got something that our ram drill actually sits on, and 2, when you're putting dirt under a ram drill, it needs a flat surface, and then you put the ball under it, and it's all good. That's how I've done it. And then you never really mess up with the ram drill, because I've seen people put like 3 or 4 balls of dirt and they go, oh, it's not working. You've overloaded the ram drill or the Goliath, well, mainly the ram drill, and it won't work. It's all good. So always look, put a flat surface underneath your ram drill, put a spade in the middle. It's all good. Right. Now, we've got one tank, we've got one pipe here. The reason why we have this pipe here is this is for future expansion, and I'll explain that in just a bit. But from this point on to that point there, that one conveyor belt, this takes 10% of your water pressure away. So when we get to here, we're at 90%, and not here, we're at 100%. That's point 2. Okay, next one. What we want to do is we've split off our line to the conveyor belt and the ram drill. Now, before we've put the filters down and the chambers in, I've left 2 spaces here. Reason why, number 1, we put a T-pipe in so we can split the line twice, and that all works for that little setup there. And then we put another one here. And the reason why we put one here and not going down this side towards where the harvester is because if I'm going to expand this lot, or well, sorry, this build, I'm expanding towards these conveyor belts here. I'm expanding that way towards the trees. So I need my pipe work to go over or under my conveyor belt, wobbling free basically. And at the end of the day, it's this is why I like it like this, because the pipes are still there. I'm still 100% optimized, but at the same time, if I expand my lot the other way, it's not going to affect this side of my conveyor belts. So it's all good. I mean, I could build a little workshop here. I could have a little shed. You know, you could basically just open this up into a little mini game for yourself. So what we've done is, after the filters, we have put in this line here. Alright, and this is basically where this water is filtered, but it's not 100% pressure until we get to this point here. So as before we've gone over the conveyor belt to join up to our gem compressor and our harvester, this is 100%. Now after this, it's going to go 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94 straight into the back of a gem compressor. Gem compressor, it doesn't matter what pressure goes into it. As long as it's got 1%, you can push that button. It will compress the gems, doesn't matter. Now we go back 95, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88. So, but at this point here, we've split the water again. And now the 88% is now running this conveyor belt. You're probably going to lose like, what, 15, between 15 and 20, depending on how long your belts are. So that's going to be down to 60% by the time it gets to the end of that sorter. More than enough pressure to sort out your gems and goodies. So 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 80, oh, boom, 100% straight up. So 84% plus 25 is 119. And then, obviously, we can't do 119% worth of pressure because this game doesn't work like that. So it just whacks up to 100%. Harvester is at 100%. Now, if you're not happy with that, you can just go overkill, which basically means chucking 4 chambers in the back of the harvester, just in case you want to make sure. If my addition or subtraction is right as it should be, then that should be bang on. That should be bang on, and that should be 100% harvester. All good. Now, with this conveyor belt running over the top, you're gonna have to power this at some point. So you can take this pipe out of here as a T pipe, and then you can just expand the conveyor belt out as you go. Obviously, if you get to like 25 points down here, and you want to really increase to 100% pressure for just a standard conveyor belt, that's up to you, and you can do that as you wish. But for me now, that doesn't really matter. So this build is now 100% optimized in pressure, and it's 100% optimized when it comes to grinding down the dirt. This ram drill fires out 1 piece of dirt, which goes through a grinder, which turns it into 2 pieces of dirt, which turns it into 4 pieces of dirt, which turns it into 8 pieces of dirt. 8 pieces of dirt is how far down you can grind your ball of dirt before you put it through a harvester off of a ram drill. Alright? And the reason why we've done the reason why I've said a ram drill is because on the Goliath drill, that conveyor belt has to be a little bit longer. And so here we go, Goliath. So the Goliath drill, put 4 chambers in the back of that. This runs at 100%. This, I did it for giggles, and also I did this because just in case someone goes, yeah, but if you put 100% worth of pressure into the back of a David, then you yourself, you can earn more money. Well, there you go. I'm covering my bases by saying if you put 4 here, it might make a difference. I haven't actually looked into this, but I don't think it makes any blind bit of difference whatsoever. But just for giggles on this video, I decided to put 4 chambers on it to basically say, you can do it if you like. That's up to you. When it comes to the Goliath build, your conveyor belt has to be a smidging longer. And the reason why is because that ball of dirt that comes out of the Goliath is like head-sized. Or, like head size, depending on how big your head is. And it's going to be jumping down to here. It's going to go through this is going to jump it into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The reason why you have to grind it down to 10 pieces and not 8 pieces is because you're breaking down a bigger piece of dirt into a smaller piece of dirt and you get the idea. And when you get to the top of the belt, just stick it through your harvester and it's all good. Again, if you put your harvester at 100% optimization, 100% pressure, then it's all good. You'll make more money. Okay, so the last bit to the Goliath build is literally how you want to connect your pipes. Now, if you want to connect your conveyor belts so they just use the T-pipe. So this means you're going to be doing this and making another line and making another line and making another line and so on and so forth. And, I mean, from this height, the Goliath, like, if you're at 100%, it will literally spit the ball to here. It will miss this section here. Now, if you're not a fan of that method and you want to really 100% make sure that you're getting it right on the target, if you use a left or right conveyor belt thingy, a left or right conveyor belt corner, then what you can do is here you can plug the pipe in this side, and then you can run your piping down the side of a drill, so it makes it a little bit more neater. Again, you can do that with both the left and the right corner, and it's all good. It just means you don't have to have pipes running in front, and if you're paranoid that the Goliath might not make that belt there, you've got the backup, and it's all good. Now, before we turn on this machine, I'm going to explain why I left this spacer here. If you're curious about that right at the beginning of this video when I mentioned it, now I'm going to tell you why. Now, in order to expand this drill set, you have to have a spare slot, all right? And for all those people out there, just now I get it. Yeah, congratulations. So there are 2 ways to expand this this set. Now, what you can do is, actually, if I put that back, because I'm sort of going to need that. And if I just clone it for now. So what you want to do is you want to add a T-pipe to here, and you can either T-pipe it across here, but then the purists who want 100% pressure on every single build that they're ever going to make, then it's not going to get 100% pressure on the next set of conveyor belts, or the next set, or the next set, or the next set. You can run about 8 sets of conveyor belts off this one line before you need to bring in another power source. Now, what you want to do is, if you really, really want to go down the anal route of being 100%, and yes, I am going to use the anal route because some people are that engrossed in the way that people do things. What you want to do is you want to take this pipe out, and you want to move your filter to this end of the build, so it's right next to the valve, okay? And the reason why you want to do this is because you want to bring in another T-pipe. Now, what we can do from here is we can bring in another conveyor belt, and you can run it with 100% pressure. If this is the way you want to be, then this is the way you can do it. You basically add another conveyor belt in this line and add another set of chambers in. And you can do this across the board. So what you would do is you would take this out, you'd replace it with a T-pipe, and then you can build infinitely. Well, until your computer lags out because it can't take the pressure anymore. What I'm getting at here is you can put as many chambers in here as you want, and your build will be 100%. And that's literally what you will do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly replace this pipe with this pipe because I don't need this. But you get what I mean. Like, if you really, really want to put 100% pressure behind everything you ever do, literally just come off of here and then just make another fork and then just add another load of pressure tanks and another conveyor belt. That's up to you. Again, if you want to do that, yeah, it's up to you. I suppose it would help if you had this and in order to build another ram drill set off this line, you would basically take a T-pipe from here, and you would just loop the conveyor. You would just loop the pressure tank like this, and then you would just build another line so the ram drills, so it produces another 100% off there. That's how I would do it. But you know, everybody else isn't me. You find your own way. But I hope this video sort of helps you understand how you can put your pipes out and how to make 100% optimization. Okay, so I built this last time, and I was using this as an experiment to see if you could literally make more money using grinders. Okay, now we're going to see how much money we can make by just optimizing the build to 100% everything, just so you guys know that this actually works. Now, the last time I built this, it made 4.5 grand. So between 4,400 and 4,600, 4,700 within that time. And that's, yeah, that's not too bad. But what I want to do now is I'm going to time this. We're going to do 5 minutes worth of an experiment, like I always do. I mean, I know people have a go at me as well for only doing 5-minute experiments. Doesn't show the true potential of the build. I run these machines for hours whilst I'm testing them, and then I make a video. So I know roughly how much this is going to make already. I just need to do it for the video to show you guys that this works. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and type it all out every time I tell people. I'll show people the video. Okay, so going to bang 5 minutes into my timer. Is my ram drill on? Ram drill is on, all good. All I've got to do is turn this valve and put 5 minutes up on the clock. So 3, 2, 1, go, and boom. So there we go. We're gonna finish this at 5 minutes and 1 second. And there we go. This is fully optimized. So 1 bit turns into 2, turns into 4, turns into 8. You can't grind that down anymore. If you put another grinder on this, it literally just sits there and just rotates. It doesn't have an animation because you've already ground down all the dirt to where it should be. You can't do it any better. You can't do it any worse. Well, if you want to do it any worse, just take half the grinders off. You'll be fine. But what I'm getting at with this is that this is literally how to do 100% optimization. Now, the reason why I only use 1 ram drill or 1 Goliath per line is because if you were to stick 2 ram drills or 3 ram drills or 10 ram drills onto this line, it's not going to break down all the dirt into its own way, which is why I was talking about adding another line here and here and here and here and here. And the reason why you want to add those lines is because then you're optimizing this 1 ram drill to make the most money. If you have 2 ram drills or 3 ram drills or 4 ram drills, you're going to have 4 sets of conveyor belts, and that's going to make you lots and lots of money. To put this into perspective, if you ran 10 ram drills like this setup in one go, you're going to make a ton of money. So yeah, this is the most optimized build that I've ever created, and it seems to be one of the best builds I've ever created because it just works. unlike Bethesda's Fallout 76, which they claim still works, but there are still issues with it. I mean, yeah, there are issues with this game, but you know, we'll get there, you know? So another question that I get is, why do I use windows and not the barriers? And I can answer this one now. The reason why I use windows and not the barriers is because the barriers have a natural gap between each row of the barrier. With a window, it's just one solid bit of wood with a couple of panels of glass, and it acts as a solid object, so nothing falls off that conveyor belt. And I mean, if you're going to have issues, then you just double up and so on and so forth. But yeah, I use windows to basically fix all of my problems in this game. I mean, poles work, but then you might still have a gap. At least with a window, it's a solid object. And yeah, that's why I use windows. I know it's mad. It's like everything can be fixed with windows in this game, but pretty much, actually. Time, gentlemen. That's the last ball. That was a lucky last ball of dirt. Here we go then. Right, first off is the bar of Cloutium. And the reason why is just because we can't make anything with it, so we have to sell it as just the bar, because you have to make something with at least like £6 worth of Cloutium. Yeah, 157 coins just doesn't cut it, man. Next is the sword of Sodemonium. And I realised I left my timer running again. So yeah, 9 minutes and 48. There you go. That's how long it took me to get to that point. Right, and yeah, two grand. And now we're going to do the 3 necklaces of Mr. Tedium. Plop, plop, plop. Alright, so 3,909. So that's made 6,811. Now that, for 5 minutes worth of work, isn't bad. And I'm going to show you how close this was, because the last time I did this experiment, I did this. So 6,758, 6,811. Obviously, the difference in money comes from Cloutium, because the bar of Cloutium I did on this one was tiny in comparison to this one, which was a little bit bigger. Obviously, we had a few more gems in the last one, so we made 3 more profitable necklaces. But, you know, the lack of gold may have been, or the lack of iron. You have to take this all into regard. So I would say that this build creates anything between $6,500 to around $6,900, maybe even 7 grand on a really good test, a really good 5 minutes. But like I said, I only do 5-minute tests because I test these over and over again for hours before I know that they're good enough to put out for you guys. Now, the reason why we did this video, as we said at the beginning, it was literally because people started going, you're not doing 100%. So from now on, and I'm going to say this from now on because it's almost like I planned this all along for the last like 4 months of making content. From now on, everything I do will be 100% optimized. Everything will be running 100%. Everything will be like to make as much money as humanly possible. And I know that's something that you guys want to be seeing as well, because I mean, unless you've been playing this game for a couple of months like myself and you're new to this game, then you might be sitting there going, I ain't got a clue on what to do. Please, can someone help me? So I do hope that this video actually helps someone out there. So thank you very much for joining me. This is Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button below for all other updates. If you do want to become a channel supporter, you can hit the join button underneath this video. Pay this channel a couple of £1 a month, help us towards savings and putting stuff back into the computer and putting it back into the channel as well, and new games if I ever get around to buying a new one. In fairness, I do need to buy a new one, so any suggestions in the comment section, that would be awesome as well, because you know, it'd be nice to hear from you guys as well on that one. If you want a Hybridsteel t-shirt, you've got 2 more months left of the current runs that are in my merch store, so if you want any of those, they're all going to be disappearing at the end of December, because I'm going to bring in a new line of merch for everyone to buy and be happy with if you actually want one, that is. If not, just hit the subscribe button or even just the like button. Really does help, and I really do appreciate the support. So thank you very much for coming by. I'll see you all guys later. Peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye for now.